Hey guys, this is Nita Ann here. Welcome back to my channel, Beauty by Nita. And today I'm going to talk a little bit about how to set up your very own customer appreciation at a restaurant. So make sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss a beat, and I'll be right back. Today, I'm going to give you some tips on how to set up a customer appreciation at a restaurant. So this is one of the best ways that I have found to get new names and numbers. In all the years that I've been doing Mary Kay, there's a couple that have really made a difference. So this video, I'm going to talk about how to set up lead generation events at a restaurant. The next video, I'm going to talk about how to set up a lead generating event at a nurse's home or in a nurse's facility. And the video after that, I'm going to talk about how to set up an appreciation event for Teachers Appreciation Week. So make sure to watch all of my videos, but today we're going to start with the customer appreciation event at a restaurant. So the reason this is so helpful is because restaurants love to make their customers feel appreciated, especially if there's a wait. So a lot of times restaurants are very busy around certain holidays. So this is when I'm going to go into a restaurant. Valentine's Day, Mother's Day, Easter. Those are the three things that are the three events that are very highly populated. And so those are the times that I like to go into the restaurants because they like to provide something different for their customers, so that their customers aren't just sitting and waiting and being a little bored while they're waiting for their table. So some restaurants that you can approach are mom and pop restaurants, because those restaurants, usually you can talk to the owner or the manager. And then you can also talk to some chains that are kind of those chains where you can actually talk to the manager and the manager can make the decision. So some chains, they have to then talk to corporate, but there are certain restaurants where the manager can make the decision. And sometimes you don't know which one is going to be that particular restaurant. I do know Texas Roadhouse is usually very interested in working with us, as well as IHOP usually is very interested in working with us, and then a lot of Mexican restaurants. So, but don't discount a restaurant. If you go to a restaurant frequently, go ahead and put that on your list of a restaurant you're going to talk to hand out roses on one of those holidays: Valentine's Day, Mother's Day, and Easter. Okay, so let's talk about how you're going to approach the manager. So you do want to talk to an actual manager, and it usually has to be a general manager. Usually an assistant manager can't make this decision. So you can call the restaurant ahead of time and say, hey, when is your general manager? And I would like to come in and talk to them. So usually the people think that you're coming in to make a complaint. And so they'll say, oh, well, what's this about? You can say, don't worry, I'm not upset. I'm not making a complaint. I just would like to ask if you'd be interested in partnering with me to appreciate some of your customers. So don't go into detail about what you want to talk to the general manager about with anyone else but the general manager. Because if you give them too many details, they're going to probably not share it the way you would want it to be shared. So make sure you're really talking to the person who can make the decisions before you go in and talk to them. So once you set up a time to talk to the general manager, you're going to simply walk in and introduce yourself and say that you're with Mary Kay, and then say you'd like to partner with them to appreciate the people that are coming into their restaurant on whatever holiday is coming up next. So let's say we're talking about Easter, because that's the next big holiday. So you would say something like, I'm so excited. I'm a local Mary Kay beauty consultant, and I would love to partner with you for Easter because I know you're going to get a lot of people coming in on Easter, and I'd love to make all of the people who come in feel appreciated by your restaurant. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to give the people that are coming in a wooden rose. So I'm going to put the link to where you can get the wooden roses in here on the video, but I'd like to give the people who come in a wooden rose, and they're all entered to win a free Mary Kay basket. And I'm also going to do a drawing for the men. Now, you don't have to do a drawing for the men, but as I started to think, as I thought about Easter, which really isn't just about women, I'd want to probably do something for the men too. So you can do a drawing for a Home Depot gift card. You can do Lowe's, something that men would like, and include some Mary Kay men's skincare or a cologne. But you're not really trying to book the men for a facial. That's just really a gift. But you can do a drawing for men and for women. And of course, only one guy is winning the gift. You're not booking them for a facial. But for the women, you're booking them for also a facial. So one woman's going to win the basket, and everyone else is eligible for a free facial with Mary Kay. And I personally usually include a freebie with that, like a free mascara or a free lip gloss that they won at the facial. So I'm going to go ahead and explain that to the manager and say, I will buy the gift card. You don't have to do that. I will buy the stuff for the gift basket. You don't have to do that. I buy the roses. You don't have to do it. So it's really of no cost to them. And the benefit is that their customers are getting something special on top of course, what they get at the restaurant that day. Now, when you're there at the restaurant, you want to make sure you do a couple things just not to irritate people. So I learned these from all of the years that I've been doing appreciations, because you have to remember when people come into restaurants, they're kind of a little hangry. So you don't want to push the button too much because they might get a little irritated. You don't want them complaining about you. I'll want to give them a rose with a little ribbon around it and my business card on it when they walk in. And what I would say is hey, welcome to Texas Roadhouse. Today's Easter, so we want to give you a rose on behalf of Texas Roadhouse and on behalf of Mary Kay just for coming in. And they're usually like, oh, wow, that's so nice. And they take the rose. And then you can say, and we're also doing a drawing for a free Mary Kay basket. You're also eligible for a facial. Go ahead and enter if you want to win. And then you have your little entry forms with you. So I also have a little example of the entry forms up here, as well as an example of the wooden rose. And I also have a link to where you can order the wooden roses. So the form should be very easy and not take very long to fill out, because you have to remember they're at a restaurant and they're not wanting to take a lot of time to fill it out. So I usually just ask for their name and their phone number and maybe their email, but really something very simple: name and phone number, maybe email, and whether or not you can text them a little yes or no, can I text you? So once they fill out the form, you would go ahead and of course put it in the little box that you have for the entries. If someone is in a group, you do want to group those entries together. So let's say you give a form to a mom and she's with her two daughters that are over 18 and they all enter. You want to make sure you group that together, because it's a little awkward when all three people from the same group win, because they're like, oh, I won. Oh, I win. And how did we all win? And then if they're smart, they start to think, oh, is this a scam? Did we all win? So you really don't want to do that. You want to choose one person from the group to win. And then that person wins the makeover and whatever gift it is. And then she invites everybody else from her group to the facial. So if you group them together, I just earmark it so you know that those people are all together. So you're only going to choose one person from that group. Sorry. Anyway, and the other thing that is something that can happen at restaurants is people are super busy, and when you give them the rose, they're wanting to go to their table right away. So you don't want to hold up the entire line having everybody, fill out your forms. So what you want to do is you could give them the entry form to take to their table to fill out. I will say that sometimes when they do that, they don't always fill it out and they forget about it, and you lose them filling it out. However, what I have found is the people that are really interested will still fill it out. So you might get less names and numbers that way, but you're not going to end up being a nuisance to everyone, because of course you're not sitting there waiting for them to fill it out while everybody's trying to pile in through the front door. So you can take them off to the side to fill it out if they're waiting for their table, or you can give them the form and say, I'll come pick it up. And then you can go to their table and remind them to fill out the form and then pick it up then. After you get all the names and numbers at a successful restaurant event, you'll probably get anywhere between 50 to 100 names and numbers. After you get all the names and numbers, you would, of course, go back home, organize them, and message them within 24 hours to make sure that they know that they won an amazing free makeover with Mary Kay and whatever extra prize that you wanted to give them. Do one drawing for the basket, and everybody else wins the makeover and a mascara or a lip gloss. And I'll go ahead and post a text script of what I would say when I'm following up with those leads from the restaurant. So I hope this helps. If you build good relationships with restaurants, you can go in every holiday and they will love having you. You'll never run out of names and numbers. And I look forward to hearing all about your success at these restaurants. So make sure to comment below when you set one up, and I'll talk to you soon.